All right, so this is kind of the next phase, I guess, that I was doing. I just got the motor out of the RX7, and one thing that I was kind of been wanting to do, and I should take advantage of it now that I got the motor out, is I wanted to clean the harness. Now this is my RX7 was a NA, it was an NAS5, and I converted it to a Turbo 2 because I got a JDM Turbo 2, and that in itself was a whole, it took a lot of research for me to do that. But one issue that the car had, well, it was kind of an issue, like I could never figure out. I always figured that this motor had, like the car just had a short, I feel, somewhere, because randomly, like whenever I wouldn't drive the car, it would like act up, like it sometimes just wouldn't turn on, like if the coil was bad, and at times I thought the coil was bad, but it wasn't. Then I started looking. When I first put the car together, I noticed that, you know, the wiring itself was kind of like butchered. Like this originally went to the OMP, so when I did have one, it just didn't act right. Some other, like, I just need to take this apart, and you know, I got some sleeves and stuff because I wanted to kind of keep it simple, keep it clean. And since this is an NA, there's a few things that I need to extend, such as the TPS plug, which it needed, like I had to stretch it out every single time, and it was just causing some issues. So I really just need to take this apart. Like, even though it sucks that I wrecked my car, like this next build, I really just kind of wanted to do it right, and how I should have done it the first time. My dog's following me. I know it's a little messy here, excuse the mess, but I got, this is all the crap. So I got my motor out. It'll take too long, but I am gonna have to get a lower intake manifold because this. So yeah. So now I'm gonna have to get that. I was looking through other stuff from the impact that the car received. It just didn't look too bad, like the power steering, because I need power steering, man. I'm too old. Got bent a little bit. I don't know if you can see that, but other than that, everything's pretty good. It's kind of dark. You can't really see the car, but Jesus, look at that aluminum hood. Gone to shit. My ARC top mount was it wasn't like, it got like the fins on top got a little bent. My dog's trying to show you. Watch out, Zeus, come on. Like the bottom fins here got a little dent, but I mean, I can straighten those out. Not a big deal. Everything else seems okay for the most part. I just got to replace like small things, like one of the lines broke. Nothing too bad. I'm just glad that the dash is good for the most part. But yeah, so what I'm gonna work on is just cleaning up the harness and kind of eliminating a lot of stuff, like obviously like the stuff for the rat's nest I don't need. The knock sensor from NA to Turbo 2, or the JDM motor, it's very different because the motor that's in here that was in my car was actually a JDM S4. So not only did I have to convert it from NA to Turbo 2, but I had to convert it from JDM to non, because as many of you, or some of you may or may not know, there's a lot of sensors and plugs that the RX7s do not have in Japan that they did have in the US. So this is one of them. For the knock sensor, you actually had to tap in, I forgot what this plug is, but the one with the black and white and yellow and black needs to be you have to depin it, and the black and yellow actually goes to the knock sensor in the block. So I wish that I had like a plug for it. Been trying to look, but I haven't, so I just put like a male plug, and it's a bit ghetto, but I mean, I did what I could. As many of you may know, it's parts for this car is really hard to find. So yeah, I'm pretty much just gonna undo it. All this kind of already started here. It's just gonna be a little bit of a pain to put the sleeve out, and having to depin a lot of these and just eliminate most of this stuff. And a lot of research went into this one. With it being my first RX7, I kind of just dove into it blind, but yeah, hopefully it doesn't take too long. So all right, so I got most of the old like little plastic loom and all that old duct tape out of the harness, the main part of the harness. I mean, I found a few things that was kind of corroded, and like this is like factory stuff that I don't know how they did things, but I mean, this is like a 30-year-old harness, so I kind of needed to do it. I just went ahead and cut off some of the emission stuff that I don't even use, and somehow, I don't know, I can't, because again, this is an NA harness that I kind of converted to a Turbo 2, and I don't know, like, I'm just trying to look online to see what the heck this, I don't know if somebody knows what this is. I know that I don't need it, and I've been trying to look online to find what this is. It goes near the coolant temp sensor, but either way, anyway. So the, I guess the most frustrating part is after cleaning it up, I have to put the loom, the braided loom, at the very start of the harness, which is gonna suck, because I'm gonna have to cut most of the bigger plugs off and then solder them. I have to cut them off in order to be able to fit the loom in, and then, you know, be able to get it all the way at the bottom and kind of work my way up. And I'm using three kinds. I'm using 3/8 loom, 3/8, 3/4, and 1/8. That should pretty much cover the entire harness. I only got like 25 feet of each, which should be enough. But yeah, I'm just gonna cut some of these plugs off, and then after I get everything in, I'm gonna solder them nicely, put some heat shrink, and yeah. So I haven't seen anything too big. Well, I guess any like issues with the harness so far. I was trying to make it look extra neat and just depin everything, as you can see here, but man, that's gonna take way too long. So I was like, fuck that, I'm just gonna cut it, or I'm just gonna cut the plug and then solder them back together, because it's way too many plugs to me to depin. And for whatever reason, some of these, like the injector ones, are really hard to depin. I just couldn't get it. So and I have a freaking tool for it, and I still couldn't get it. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. All right, I started kind of cleaned everything up, all the kind of loose ends, unnecessary things. So I started passing in the loom. I think the hardest part obviously is going to be sectioning out the divided ends, but kind of have to put everything together, put it down towards the end, and I'm going to just kind of cut it section by section. And yeah, this is a little bit harder to work with than I thought, but still should come out pretty decent, so we'll see. All right, so I managed to put the braided loom throughout the whole harness. So as opposed to me just like cutting it up and guessing how much I need for each section with the little dividers, I decided to just strip the whole, or not strip the whole, what the hell am I talking about? Just kind of loom the whole thing up, and I measured out like kind of where to cut to divide it out for the other pieces. And I also put this little heat shrink here towards that end, and I mean, it's just a Harbor Freight heat shrink. And again, this one was the 3/8, and the little, I have three sizes. I have the 3/8, 3/4, and 1/8. I'll put like a link or something in the description or whatever, but yeah, so this part's done. This is the entire harness that's in here, and now I need to just cut it up. So see how that goes. All right, so see, I made the first slit here, start to pass through. So what I'm gonna do is I'm putting the heat shrinks towards the end of the bits that I'm cutting. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tape most of it, like, cause I really don't want the duct tape or the electrical tape, sorry, to be seen, but you know, it's kind of gonna have to, you know, it's something that you just can't help. So in the dividing sections like this, I'm gonna kind of tape, probably just gonna tape all of it off and cover it as much as I can with the shrink wrap on both sides. I got this is for, I believe, the windshield wipers, and I still have to pass through, I think I got some, I forgot what this was, but still have like a couple more sections that I need to take off, but yeah, just giving a quick update, gotta finish up here. All right, so it's the next morning, because I don't know, I was up till like 4 a.m. But I went ahead and I sectioned out everything, made sure that each one of them had a heat shrink just for protection. So I'm gonna tape it and then put the heat shrink over the electrical tape. But now I'm kind of just like matching everything up to get ready to solder everything. And then I'm just gonna use a smaller loom for the ends here. But it's looking pretty good. It's definitely kind of a bitch to put these in, but thankfully I was able to do that. So yeah, I'm gonna finish up with the electrical connectors. Alright, so I finally got the harness done for the most part. I think it came out alright. There's still a few things that I need to like, I need to heat up this heat shrink, but I just haven't secured it yet. I got rid of some stuff that I didn't need, and I had to hide a few stuff. I don't even know the name. I think it's, hold on, whatever this plug is, it's from the NA harness, and I'm assuming it's just a sensor for the NA. I don't know what it is. I never used it, so I hid it. There's a couple things that I needed that this harness didn't have, so I kind of just have it loose for now. Like I forgot the name of this solenoid. I think it's the boost control solenoid or whatever. The knock sensor, which to get this you have to take the yellow and black wire from the rat's nest plug, the white plug, and I don't have the actual plug for that, so I just kind of do it like that. I extended a few things, like I think it was one of the injector plugs, I believe it was this one. I had to make that one longer. I think the BAC one needed to be extended a little bit because it was stretching out, as well as the TPS, because I don't know, just from going to the NA to the Turbo 2, it's not meant for a Turbo 2 motor or the turbo motor, so you know, it's just you have to extend it, or else it's gonna wear on the actual wire itself. But other than that, I mean, I think it looks pretty clean. I'm still waiting on putting it inside the actual motor, because I have to pick up the shell soon, probably this weekend. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It wasn't hard, but it was time consuming. I didn't do like the back end, I just did like the front part of the harness, but I did find a lot of kind of the corroded areas that I cleaned out, and yeah, it was pretty simple, just very time consuming. So hopefully the next video that I make, I'll be able to at least have my new shell in, just to see how everything fits and kind of prep that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I forgot to say, I'm gonna have a link of everything that I used. That's my dog barking. I think I only spent about, I want to say like 30 bucks which isn't bad. Like, it's just really time consuming, and you have to kind of know what you're doing. My dog won't shut up. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Peace.